All right, well, welcome everyone to the Virtual College Exploration for all Indiana students, sponsored by the Indiana Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Ryan Barbold, and I'll be serving as your facilitator for today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can see the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenter, Tim, at any time. Your cameras and microphones are turned off, so panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at inacac.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, inacac.org. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Tim from the University of Pittsburgh. Tim?
Thank you very much. And thank you to everybody who has joined this afternoon to learn a little bit more about the University of Pittsburgh. As mentioned, my name is Tim Joy, and I'm coming to you from the Office of Admissions and Financial Aid at Pitt. I myself am a graduate of the university. I graduated from Pitt in the spring of 2017 from our School of Education, and I was so inspired by the 4 years that I spent at Pitt as a student that I have now decided to stick around as a staff member, as an admissions counselor, in a role that really allows me to share with individuals like you all how Pitt is providing the best collegiate experience in the world to its students. During our time together today, we're going to do a nice walkthrough of all that Pitt has to offer in terms of academics, so the ways that students can be involved inside the classroom, as well as many of the ways that students can be involved outside of the classroom. Following both of those areas, we will do a walkthrough of the application and enrollment process. And then of course, I will address any questions that you may have. As mentioned, please feel free to utilize the Q&A box throughout this presentation. I'll do my best to keep an eye on that Q&A box as we are going through in hopes that I can tie answers to any of your questions into the presentation. If I'm not able to tie them in though, I will address all of those at the end. To start us off, I am going to brag a little bit and note that the university currently has a 94% placement rate with our students. What that means is that within 6 months of graduation, 94% of our students are successfully placed in either professional employment or graduate school opportunities. And those are going to be at some of the top companies and institutions around the globe. Places like Amazon, Google, Duolingo, Uber, PNC, Westinghouse, Dick's Sporting Goods. And in terms of graduate schools, the University of Pittsburgh is quite obviously at the top of that list. However, our students are ending up at other incredible institutions as well, including Carnegie Mellon, which is just next door to our campus, Oxford, Harvard, Yale, NYU, Johns Hopkins, and both of those lists continue on and with prestige. However, how are we accomplishing this? How is the University of Pittsburgh accomplishing this incredible 94% placement rate with our students? We're doing so using 2 avenues. The first avenue is going to be the many ways that students can be involved academically at Pitt. Whenever it comes to undergraduate academics at the university, we have 10 schools for our students to study within. And when all 10 of those schools come together, it is hundreds of different options for majors, minors, certificates for our students to choose from. Now, I have to imagine that many of the individuals tuning into this session are thinking about applying to the university as an incoming freshman. If that is the case, you will be applying directly into one of 5 of our freshman entry schools. So yes, I mentioned that we have 10, only 5 of those are going to be direct freshman entry. What that means is that as opposed to applying to the University of Pittsburgh as a whole, you will instead be applying into a specific school based on whatever your academic interests may be. I'm going to do a brief walkthrough of those 5 freshman entry schools, starting with the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. The Dietrich School is the largest school at the undergraduate level, housing over 100 different options for majors, minors, and certificates for students to choose from. The Dietrich School will really be the liberal arts focus of the university, housing all of our health sciences, social sciences, humanities, foreign languages, mathematics, and this will also be where any student entering into the university with an undecided major will at least start out. Something that I like to note about students that are entering in with an undecided major is that that is completely okay. not knowing what you want to pursue at age 16, 17, 18 is completely all right. And during the time that you spend at Pitt, we will do everything in our power to help you to figure out what it is that you are passionate about pursuing. The next of those freshman entry schools will be the College of Business Administration, also known as Pitt Business. Pitt Business houses 7 different majors that break down into a variety of the different sectors of the business industry. So finance, accounting, human resources, marketing, supply chain management. And then they also offer a variety of certificates as well. If you're not familiar with what a certificate is at the collegiate level, it is somewhat of a midpoint between a major and a minor. So it'll be fewer credits than a major would be, more than a minor would be. However, the bigger difference is that it's going to be cross-disciplinary. So it'll pull courses from multiple different areas of study to form one specified certificate. An example of one of these certificates may be our certificate in sports management. Say you know that you want to work within the sports industry, but you are a marketing major. Your degree within marketing will be very broad and can be taken in a lot of different directions. By adding a certificate in sports management, it will give you the nice emphasis on working within the sports industry. Another example may be our certificate in international business. The certificate in international business, when looking at it from that cross-disciplinary point of view, it may pull courses from the political science department or the economics department, or maybe even some foreign language courses to again give you a nice focus in a certain area to put on top of whatever your degree already is. Pitt Business likes to operate from the motto, from the classroom to the city to the world. So the beginning of your time in Pitt Business will start off in a traditional classroom style setting, but then from there you'll do a lot of work in the rest of the city and around the globe during things like internships, placements, shadowing, going to networking events, part-time jobs, and then of course, full-time employment upon graduation. The next of our freshman entry schools will be the Swanson School of Engineering. The Swanson School houses 10 different majors that break down into 10 of the different disciplines of engineering. So civil engineering, computer engineering, environmental engineering, and then they also offer a variety of minors and certificates as well, so that students really can mix and match with those disciplines to fit all of their desires. Something unique about our engineering program is that students will spend the entirety of freshman year taking core courses in engineering before selecting which disciplines, which majors, which minors, which certificates they are going to pursue from there. We like to offer our program this way so that students have a well-developed background in all of the different areas of engineering before they have to select, again, whichever disciplines or majors they are going to pursue from there. The fourth of our freshman entry schools will be the School of Computing and Information. And we are especially excited for our School of Computing and Information because for the first time during the fall of 2019, we welcomed in our first freshman class into that school. Up until the fall of 2019, the School of Computing and Information was considered an upper level school, which meant that students had to wait typically until their junior year to begin pursuing the different programs that we have to offer within that school. However, the university noticed that the city of Pittsburgh is booming within the tech industry with representation from Google, Amazon, Facebook, Uber, Duolingo, all here in the city of Pittsburgh wanting to employ the young, bright minds of Pitt students. In order for us as a university to best prepare our students for internships, part-time jobs, and full-time employment with those companies, we needed for our students to begin within those programs as early as freshman year. Which is why, as I noted, for the fall of 2019, we welcomed in our first freshman class into that school, and we look forward to seeing those programs grow in the coming years. And then the last of our freshman entry schools will be our renowned School of Nursing. Our School of Nursing and all of the health sciences at the University of Pittsburgh are especially strong due to our direct connection to UPMC, the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. With our direct connection to UPMC, it allows us to have 6 teaching hospitals right on our campus for our students to utilize for research, shadowing, working as a tech, an intern, an aide, and for our nursing students specifically, their clinical rotations. Because our nursing students have such close access to these hospitals, they will begin their clinical rotations during sophomore year, which gives them 3 years of hands-on learning under their belt when they graduate from our 4-year nursing program and are ready to enter into the workforce. So again, whenever you are preparing your application for the University of Pittsburgh, you will be selecting one of these 5 schools to submit your application to. In addition to applying to one of our 5 freshman entry schools, you will also have the option to apply to Pitt Honors. Pitt Honors will work in conjunction with whatever academic school you are already a student within. So you will never be solely a Pitt Honors student, but instead you could be a Pitt nursing student or a Pitt Honors student, or you could be a Pitt business student and a Pitt Honors student. Again, you will never be solely a Pitt Honors student, but by being a Pitt Honors student, you will be a part of a cohort of other freshman students or other sophomore students, dependent upon what year you decide to join Pitt Honors. You'll have access to things like honors housing on campus, specialized honors advising, honors courses, and then different opportunities outside of the classroom that are specifically designed for that Pitt Honors cohort. If you are interested in Pitt Honors, after you select which of our 5 freshman entry schools you are applying to, you'll have the opportunity to select if you would like to be reviewed for Pitt Honors. There will be one additional application component that you'll need to complete, but we'll talk about that at the end of this presentation. In addition to applying to a freshman entry school and to Pitt Honors, you will also have the opportunity to take advantage of our guaranteed admission program. With our guaranteed admission program, this is designed for any students who have a well-developed idea that they would like to continue their education with Pitt beyond an undergraduate degree. So this could mean students who are interested in going to medical school or to law school, pursuing an MBA or a master's in education, whatever it may be. Again, these are designed for students who are looking to continue their education beyond an undergraduate degree. With this program, whenever you are applying as an incoming freshman student, you can apply for a guaranteed seat in these upper level programs. So you could know going into freshman year that you have a guaranteed seat waiting for you in Pitt's medical school or in our law school. You then don't need to worry about things like the LSAT or the MCAT whenever it comes to senior year, or the interview process to get into these different programs, be it at Pitt or other institutions. This is a non-binding opportunity also. So if you apply for one of these opportunities, you receive it, and then you decide, I don't really want to go to law school. That's completely okay. You forfeit the opportunity and it opens up to someone else. But these are going to be a great stress lifted off your shoulder if you know that next step in your academic path is coming. So again, this is an opportunity for you to take advantage of on the freshman application, but it is by no means required. Looking to that second avenue now, as I noted, there were 2 avenues that we used to accomplish that incredible 94% placement rate with our graduating students. Route 1 was the many ways that students can be involved inside the classroom. Route 2 are going to be the many ways that students can be involved outside of the classroom. I believe one of the best ways to be involved outside of the classroom is to take advantage of the incredible city of Pittsburgh. Whenever it comes to the location of the University of Pittsburgh, we're located about 3 miles outside of what is considered downtown Pittsburgh. Because we are not directly within downtown Pittsburgh, we don't get lost amongst the hustle and bustle of the urban environment. Instead, we are able to offer a part of the city that has green space and is really identifiable as a college campus. But by stepping 2 blocks over, you're right back into that great urban environment. So our university, our campus really does offer the best of both worlds. As I mentioned at the start, I myself am a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh. And whenever I was a senior in high school and I was thinking about where I wanted to go to college, I knew that I wanted to be in an urban environment that I could walk to a coffee shop or a restaurant or wherever it might have been. But I also had this image in my mind from TV shows, movies of what a college campus would look like. The University of Pittsburgh absolutely offered both of those things. It offered me a traditional college campus with a camaraderie focus, but it also offered that incredible urban flair. Additionally, because we are located just outside of downtown Pittsburgh, it's very easy to access downtown or any of the other neighborhoods that make up the city. And a great way to do that is through Pittsburgh's public transit. I believe one of the greatest benefits that all Pitt students receive is unlimited fare-free access to all of Pittsburgh's public transit. When you arrive on campus, you'll receive a student ID card, and loaded onto that card will be an unlimited pass to Pittsburgh's bus system, our subway system, and the Incline. The Incline is somewhat of a novelty for the city. It's somewhat of a tourist attraction, but it is also a great form of public transit as well. With that fare-free access to our public transit, you can get in and out of downtown for an internship or to go to maybe a live arts performance. You can get into any of the other neighborhoods to go to a restaurant, do some shopping, maybe some community service. You can even use it to get to the Pittsburgh airport if you're looking to travel back home or to anywhere else around the globe. Taking advantage of that fare-free access to all of Pittsburgh's public transit is really going to help you to make the city your campus. When you arrive back in Oakland, which is where our campus is located, there are going to be just as many ways for you to be involved and have an incredible collegiate experience. Maybe that's going to be through Pitt Arts, which allows you to immerse yourself in things like music and the performing arts. Maybe it's through being involved in one of our 700 plus student organizations. Those will range anywhere from ones in athletics to Greek life to leadership opportunities, religious affiliated opportunities, opportunities to give back to the community, opportunities within research. Maybe that will mean studying abroad. Pitt offers over 350 study abroad programs that travel to over 70 different countries, and those are offered with complete flexibility. So students can study abroad for anywhere from a single week to a full semester to an entire year. And then of course, Pitt does have a strong athletic focus. We are a Division I school competing in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And that's going to include athletic teams like our football team, our men's and women's basketball team, baseball, softball, swimming, volleyball, gymnastics, tennis. And then we also offer a variety of club and intramural sports as well. The last piece of being involved outside of the classroom that I love to touch on is our Career Development Center. Our Career Development Center is regularly preparing students for a successful start to their career and is an incredible asset to helping us accomplish that incredible 94% placement rate. They are regularly meeting with students for resume reviews, cover letter reviews, prepping for mock interviews, networking opportunities, setting them up with part-time jobs, or possibly their first internship with their program known as the Internship Guarantee. With the Internship Guarantee, upon completion of a short checklist of career-related tasks, students are guaranteed an internship in their desired career field, whatever it may be. Again, this is a great way that the university is able to accomplish that 94% placement rate, but all of these ways that students can be involved both inside and outside of the classroom are helping us to accomplish it. We're now going to switch gears a little bit and start to focus a little bit on that application and enrollment process. I again want to encourage you to drop any questions that you may have into the Q&A box. I'll do my best to tie responses to those in as we're going through the presentation, but if I'm not able to get to those, I will address all of them at the end. When it comes to the application process for the University of Pittsburgh, I believe the most important piece to keep in mind is that we operate on rolling admission. What that means is that we do not have any hard deadlines for things like early action, early decision, or even a hard deadline for when our application will close. Instead, the application for the University of Pittsburgh opens at the beginning of August each year. And at that time, we begin to accept applications, review them, send out admissions decisions, and enroll students for our next freshman class. Now, because we start to do all of those steps so early into the year, and we'll continue to do them well into the spring months, we always encourage applicants to apply as early as possible. Applying as early as possible is going to give you the greatest chances of not only being admitted, but also to have access to things like merit scholarships and Pitt Honors. The further you wait into the year to apply, the fewer seats we have available that we can admit to, because we've been admitting to our university for months and months prior. As we have fewer seats that we can admit to, the tighter the criteria is going to become in order to be admitted. So again, to give yourself the greatest chances of not only being admitted, but also to have access to things like Pitt Honors and those merit scholarships that I'm sure we all want, you'll want to apply as early as possible. If you remember anything from this presentation, if you remember anything from today, I hope that it is that one piece of advice. When it comes to applying, we offer our application through 3 different forms. The first is the University of Pittsburgh website, and then we are also available on the Common App and the Coalition app. The university does not have a preference on which portal you use, so truly whichever is going to be the easiest for you is fine with us. If you are already using the Common App for other applications you are submitting or the Coalition app for other applications you are submitting, by all means, save yourself some time and find the University of Pittsburgh on there as well. When you are submitting your application, there are going to be 4 pieces that you're going to want to keep in mind. The first piece, that will be just your general application. This is where you'll share all of your background and contact info, and it's where you'll make those 3 crucial selections. So selection 1, you'll pick which of our 5 freshman entry schools you are applying to, either the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences, College of Business Administration, Swanson School of Engineering, the School of Computing and Information, or Pitt Nursing. So again, you will select one of those 5 schools. The next key selection you'll make is if you want to be reviewed for Pitt Honors. That will be a simple yes or no question. Would you like to be reviewed for Pitt Honors? You'll either select yes or no. If you select yes, it will generate one additional short answer question that you'll be prompted to complete. If you select no, you can just continue on with the application. And then the last key selection that you'll make on this part of the application will be if you would like to be reviewed for any of our guaranteed admission programs. Again, that was for things like our medical school, law school, our MBA program, master's in education, whatever it may be. The full list is available on our website and will come up whenever you get to that part of the application. If you would like to be reviewed for one of those guaranteed admission programs, you'll simply select which it is that you are interested in. If you're not interested in being reviewed for one of those programs, you can simply leave that section of the application blank and move on. The next piece of the application will be your high school performance, which can either be reflected through a high school transcript or the self-reported academic record. In short, the SAR, S-R-A-R. If you're not familiar with the self-reported academic record, it is a document that is built into the application, and it's something that several colleges and universities across the United States are starting to adopt. It is a document where you'll take all of the information that is typically found on your high school transcript and just transfer it over. So all of the courses you've taken in high school, the wonderful grades that you have received throughout, and of course, their level of difficulty. When reviewing applications, we love to see that applicants are challenging themselves with a difficult curriculum. So that could mean honors, advanced, AP, IB, college and high school, dual enrollment, whatever it may be, we love to see that you are challenging yourself. On the self-reported record, you'll have the opportunity to make that notation of any upper level courses that you are taking. Again, with the self-reported record, it will be built into the application. So you don't have to worry about contacting anyone from your high school or any other third party to submit that document for you. Instead, when you are submitting the rest of your application, you'll send all of that incredible high school info directly with it. It is our hope that this helps to speed up the process, simplify things for you, and help us to get all of the information from you in one document. If you are uncomfortable though, completing the self-reported record, by all means, we do still accept the high school transcript. That is completely okay. We do not have a preference, so whichever is going to be the easiest and most comfortable for you is fine with us. The next piece of your application will be your standardized test scores. When it comes to standardized test scores, we are a test-friendly institution, which means that we accept the SAT, the ACT, or both. When submitting those scores, please be sure that you are sending them directly from either College Board or the ACT agency. And if you are submitting those scores and you've taken those exams multiple times, or you've taken the SAT and the ACT, make sure to send all of those scores to us, as we will factor the most competitive score possible for you, which will be either the SAT Super Score or the highest ACT composite. Now, something unique to note about this current application cycle, is that we are offering a flexible approach to the inclusion of standardized test scores. What that means is that if you are applying to 4 of the 5 freshman entry schools that I noted, you can apply test optional, which means that you can submit a complete application and be reviewed for admission without any standardized test scores. And this will be available for the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences, College of Business Administration, Swanson School of Engineering, and the School of Computing and Information. If you are applying to Pitt Nursing, we will still be requiring at least 1 SAT or ACT score for a complete application. For the other 4 schools though, you can apply test optional, which hopefully allows you some flexibility. If you have taken those exams and you would like to submit scores, you are by all means able to do so. The more information we have with your application is incredible. But if you don't have test scores, or if you don't like the test scores and don't want them attached to the rest of your application, that is completely okay. You are able to apply test optional and will still be considered for things like Pitt Honors, merit scholarships, and those guaranteed admission programs. The last piece of the application will be your responses to our short answer questions, along with anything additional that you would like to submit with your application. This umbrella of anything extra may include your responses to these questions, which you can find on the screen. It could include a resume, cover letter, personal statement, letters of recommendation, really anything that you would like to submit to us that showcases information that you haven't already been able to share in the rest of your application. This could be a specific reason why you want to come to Pitt, or a specific passion that you are excited to bring with you to the university. Really any extra information that you would like to share about yourself to help to advocate for yourself in the admissions process. As I noted at the beginning, we don't have any hard deadlines for the application process. No deadlines for early action, early decision, or even a hard deadline on when the application will close. For some of the supplemental opportunities that I noted, things like merit scholarships, Pitt Honors, some of those graduate school guarantees, those will have some deadlines to keep in mind, all of which you can see noted on the screen. Some of the important ones, this deadline for Pitt Honors will be December 1st, and the deadline for merit scholarships will be December 15th. Something to note about merit scholarships, whenever you apply to the university, as long as you apply by December 15th, you will be automatically considered for all merit scholarships that we have to offer. You don't have to worry about submitting any supplemental documents along with the rest of your application. Just make sure that your application is in by December 15th of your senior year. Otherwise, we do operate again on that rolling admission status, and I encourage you to apply as early as possible. Regardless of when you apply and are potentially admitted, you do have until May 1st to commit to Pitt. May 1st is somewhat of a universal deadline for colleges and universities across the United States, prompting students to apply for the fall, or excuse me, prompting students to commit for the following year. Before you know it, you will have applied to the university. You will have received that decision. Whenever you are receiving your decision, it typically takes approximately 4 to 6 weeks for us to do a turnaround and get that decision to you. Depending on the time of year that you are applying, it might take a little bit less, a little bit more than that, but that 4 to 6 week window is what we can offer to you as an estimate. But before you know it, you will have clicked that submit button. You'll have your admit letter in your hand. You'll celebrate with the mailman. You'll arrive on campus for freshman orientation and then spend 4 incredible years as a Pitt student. Then you'll be like myself, an alum of the University of Pittsburgh. Being able to say that I'm an alum of Pitt is one of the proudest things that I can say about myself, and I hope that someday I share that feeling with some of you. That is everything I have as far as a presentation goes. If you do have questions, again, I encourage you to drop those into the Q&A box. If you have questions that you think of beyond today, please feel free to email me. My email is available on the screen now, and it is also tsj16@pitt.edu. Again, that was tsj16@pitt.edu. Please do not hesitate to email me with your questions. I'm happy to help you. Or if you are interested in setting up a possible one-on-one meeting so that we can talk a little bit more in depth about your specific career path, again, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I am going to be the university admissions counselor for a series of the Midwest states. So Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, and Missouri. If you're tuning in from one of those states, I do hope to hear from you. Again, my name is Tim Joy. Feel free to contact me at tsj16@pitt.edu. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and we'll take a look at that Q&A box. Doesn't look like there are any questions in there. I'll wait just a couple more moments, see if anybody else has any for today. All right. Well, if there aren't any questions, that's going to wrap up my time for today. Again, if you do think of questions, please do not hesitate to email me. I am happy to be of support. Otherwise, thank you again for tuning in today to learn about the University of Pittsburgh. And of course, hail to Pitt.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you all for joining us today. When you close this window, there will be a short link to a very short, quick survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you may have on how to improve our sessions. I also encourage you to view any more sessions that are happening throughout the next week here or so. Thank you again and have a great night.